Douglas McGregor, The Human Side of Enterprise. Welcome to the summary of The Human Side of Enterprise by Douglas McGregor, where we will explore the core ideas introduced by two contrasting management theories, Theory X and Theory Y. Theory X focuses on the belief that people are naturally lazy and need strict supervision to stay productive, while Theory Y promotes the idea that employees are self-motivated, responsible, and creative when given the right work environment. We'll examine the limitations of Theory X, the advantages of adopting a Theory Y perspective, and how these theories impact organizational success and employee morale.
Rethinking Management. In the book, the author challenges the traditional management theory, Theory X, which implies that people need authoritarian control to be productive. The author states that this theory is becoming outdated for three reasons. Firstly, hierarchical models are not applicable to modern businesses. Secondly, it fails to account for an organization's political, social, and economic milieu. Lastly, it assumes that only authority can force people to work, which is unreliable. The theory establishes an adversarial relationship between management and employees, with managers closely monitoring their staff's behavior. The author proposes a broader approach to management that includes persuasion and cooperation, rather than an authoritarian control structure. The book suggests that this approach will foster a sense of responsibility amongst employees who will feel more involved in the company's progress. The author believes that the Theory X is pessimistic, outdated, and restricts progress, and companies should adopt an inclusive management model. The truth about motivating employees. According to the book, persuasion and rewards are not enough to motivate employees. Management needs to threaten and coerce workers to achieve goals. People naturally dislike work and prefer to relinquish control, opting for a secure job with a steady paycheck. Raises and bonuses only lead to more demands, not increased productivity. The book suggests that success hinges on embracing these hard truths and adjusting management practices accordingly. Overcoming insecurity in Theory X organizations. In Theory X organizations, an atmosphere of insecurity prevents workers from excelling, as they are reluctant to take risks and fear management's disapproval. To foster innovation, employees must feel safe, respected, and valued. Theory X managers often feel threatened by the idea of workers joining forces, which leads to a lack of cooperation and shared sense of pride and accomplishment. Good wages, benefits, and policies are not enough to motivate workers. They want stimulating and meaningful work, along with recognition and respect. Management cannot provide individuals with self-respect, respect from their peers, or self-fulfillment. Theory Y management approach. According to Theory Y, managers should empower their employees with respect, freedom, and self-motivation to achieve organizational objectives. This approach assumes that under the right circumstances, employees derive satisfaction from their jobs without the need for threats or micromanagement. It also recognizes that individuals seek responsibility, are naturally creative, and possess collective intelligence that is often underutilized by management. Poor management, not lazy employees, leads to an unmotivated workforce. In contrast to Theory X, which emphasizes strict control and policymaking, Theory Y requires managers to consider the needs of both individuals and the organization. By reinforcing employees' commitment to organizational objectives through self-satisfaction and accountability, the Theory Y approach can inspire a more ethical, self-motivated, and disciplined workforce. Theory X versus Theory Y. The impact of management styles on employee behavior is explored in this book. Companies that follow Theory X and Theory Y approaches are analyzed to illustrate the differences in outcomes. In Theory X-based companies, an emphasis is placed on strict hierarchical structures and a top-to-bottom communication style. This approach can create confrontation when feedback is given to employees. In contrast, Theory Y-based companies prioritize open communication and employee empowerment. In these companies, employees are notified directly when problems arise, and are able to address them immediately. Feedback is given in a constructive manner, rather than being used to punish or eavesdrop on employees. This approach promotes mutual respect between management and employees, resulting in a better work environment. The book highlights how a company's management style can have a direct impact on employee behavior, motivation, and job satisfaction. By examining the differences between Theory X and Theory Y-based companies, readers can gain insights into the most effective ways to manage employees and build a positive workplace culture. Theory X versus Theory Y managing. A tale of two management styles, Theory X and Theory Y. In an example of Theory X gone wrong, a successful high school principal is forced into an administrative position despite his love for being a principal. 2 years later, he's miserable and unhappy, highlighting the dangers of unilateral corporate decisions for the good of the organization, with no regard for individual needs. Theory Y, on the other hand, encourages open communication and mutual respect between managers and employees, ultimately leading to better outcomes for all involved. Theory Y in leadership. Even in an organization like the military, Theory Y leadership can be applied, where leaders trust their subordinates and depend on them to accomplish the mission effectively. Feedback and practice are vital in learning and behavior change. Although Theory Y managers must act with authority and decisiveness during crises and still be fair to their people and not question their motives, they can still show firmness and even fire those with a Theory X mentality. Poor group functioning is often due to the fear of conflict and hostility that can hamper progress. Trust and command are not mutually exclusive. Leaders can trust and depend on their subordinates while still commanding them. The paradoxical power of a gruff manager. A manager's behavior towards their employees doesn't always determine their effectiveness, as demonstrated by the paradox of a gruff but caring manager. Even if they appear rude and authoritarian, it is possible for them to expose kindness and appreciation for their employees. When managers demonstrate their investment in their employees' welfare, they build trust, empowering their employees to reach exceptional standards of performance beyond what they thought capable. Even though many might consider the gruff or rough exterior to be a sign of a weak management style, it can be the unpredicted paradox that nourishes the most loyal team players.
In conclusion, the human side of enterprise reveals the drawbacks of adopting a Theory X management style and highlights the benefits of embracing a Theory Y approach. Ultimately, management heavily influences employee behavior and organizational success. By adjusting management practices and focusing on employee growth and motivation, it's possible to propel organizations forward and ensure a happier, more productive workforce. The ability of leaders to create a supportive environment that fosters creativity and values employee contribution is central to the development of a thriving and dynamic organization.